Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BigSin podcast. I am your host Sinji, my co-host Big Tone Son,
Yo,
and special returning guest Herbs. Herbs, the
What it do,
Urbanator.
baby?
So I know nothing about this. I don't want to know anything about this, and I will be giving opinions here and there, but I will not watch this. But Tiger King.
yes. Now I know we're about 2 months late talking about this, but since we haven't done the podcast in a while because
Not late
of good
enough.
old COVID, um, my wife actually watched. The first time I saw Tiger King, it was a trailer on Netflix, and the first thing I saw was this dude Joe Exotic kissing two guys. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. This is not for me. So then my wife started watching it, and she was like, Tony, that's not all it's about. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it a chance. First episode, I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked. I think I binge watched it in one day. So then I tried to get Sinji to watch it. You know, he's stubborn in the mule, so he doesn't want to watch it. I wound up convincing Herbs to watch it. He was a little hesitant at first, but now he loves the damn documentary.
It wasn't I was hesitant. It's just my friends told me to watch it before, and I was like, I might give it a shot sometime. And then you had told me to watch it, and I was like, you're like the eighth person to tell me, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch it now. I get the sign, get the hint.
Okay,
Yeah,
so for anyone who doesn't know, Tiger King is basically a documentary on this guy Joe Exotic, who is a gun-toting exotic animal zoo owner who's gay. And I have to say, this guy is a goddamn character. He is a character. this, this guy, not only does he have a zoo, but he makes music videos.
yeah.
He ran for governor.
And
He ran,
president too.
yeah,
He
ran for
and the,
president.
and he said he was gonna run 2020, but he locked up now. So
Bro, homie was passing out condoms with his face on the packaging.
yeah, they said
It,
vote for me or else use this because you're fucked.
so yeah, Joe Exotic is a character, and also they touch on a couple other people who also have exotic animal zoos as well. But one of the other major ones they concentrate on is this lady Carol Baskin, who who thinks that exotic animal zoos should be abolished in America, but yet she basically runs one of her own. She calls it a conservation, but I mean, let's be real here. She's basically doing the same thing that everyone else is doing and profiting and making millions off of these animals just like everyone else in America. So she's basically no different.
She's basically the NCAA of big cat businesses.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
She's allowed to have them, but no one else is allowed to have
yeah. And then Doc Antle is another one. We'll probably get into that too, where he's a big cat owner in South Carolina. He's a character too. So
Yeah, he's basically like a cult leader.
yeah,
Man, the only thing I know about this shit is the memes,
the
and
memes
the
are
memes are great.
hilarious.
Yeah, the memes are absolutely hilarious. And it is funny listening to Joe Exotic attack Carol Baskins. It is hilarious. This
Yeah,
dude, he had a web show where he was he had dolls that represented her, where he's hanging her, putting a bullet in its head, maybe even blowing her up. Like this dude is insane. He had him and a bunch of people had a protest in front of her property, where this fool was dressed up as a bunny rabbit that had blood all over it because there was a picture he found where the volunteers at Carol's uh, zoo were basically killing rabbits, but in their defense, they were doing it to feed the tigers.
Yeah.
So, the reason why he's in jail is because apparently he had paid someone $3,000 to go down to Florida to kill her, and like you had a couple people turn FBI informants and basically got him locked up. Now, some people seem to think that yeah, he deserves to be in jail. He's right where he's at. Some people believe that it was a big conspiracy where they all basically came together to set him up.
Right.
After I first watched the documentary, I kind of thought maybe they did set him up, but then I watched it again the other day, and I'm torn. Like I don't know. Man, I honestly I don't know. I feel like he was set up, and then I feel like he wasn't. Um, I mean, there's three sides to the truth. There's one person's truth, there's another person's truth, and then there's the actual truth. So we're never gonna know what really happened and how a lot of these events went down.
Say, yeah,
This man said the truth
but
is a triangle.
I mean,
Basically,
it's true though. But like watching it, I feel like he could have been set up just for the fact that like he kept going around saying, "I want you to kill her for me," or "Do some kill her for me," and this and that. And then so I feel like Jeff knew that, and he kind of was like, "Okay." Since a whole bunch of people already know that he wants her dead, like I could set this up and get him on out of there with the help of my handyman, you know?
yeah. I say it's really murky, and there's no definitive answer to it. Um, another another conspiracy theory, which I'm pretty sure everyone's seen the memes to this, is that Carol Baskins grinded her husband up and fed him to the tigers.
Yeah. Well,
Now, that whole story is confusing as hell. Like it, I think she may have done it.
I I think she may have, but you never really know the difference between like what someone would do and like what they won't do. Like you just never really know. First, like she probably could have done it, or he could just be off somewhere chilling. Like, ha, now she got trouble or something. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
give up all
he's
that
in
money
Cuba
if
with
I had it.
Tupac.
Yeah, they drinking mimosas on the beach.
Yeah, I
But
mean, another thing that I thought about was maybe I know because he was going back and forth to Costa Rica. He loved it down there. Another possibility is he was like, you know what, fuck this bitch, I'm leaving, I'm out. So he just went down to Costa Rica and just disappeared. That could also be a very viable situation as well. But
yeah, but
say,
on the
well,
same time, like, why would you leave his kids and his ex-wife was up there, so
yeah,
it's like,
but during the documentary, well, this is coming from Carol, to where the mom and his kids kept pestering him for more money, and apparently he was trying to cut them off. You know,
yeah,
so he may have just said, screw it, I'm just gonna leave.
Right.
And I said, you'll never know because it's just so murky, man. You just don't get a definitive answer. And then you got the guy Jeff Lowe, who is like the antithesis of a con artist.
yeah.
He reeks con artist. So man, I don't know. I think they might have set my man Joe up though.
But if you could also look at it this way too. He did it to himself. Like if he could have just left Carol alone, and didn't say nothing else about her, then like odds are he probably doesn't, like get set up for this. Like he was like, oh man, I can't stand her, but he's not like, oh, I want you to kill her. It's like, oh, would you kill her for me? Like he asked his own bodyguard to do it, and the bodyguard was like, no. So
Say nah, nigga.
Oh yeah, you absolutely. He absolutely has to take some of that blame too, because just you know, listen, I get it. You know what I mean? What she's doing could possibly ruin your business. I understand all that, but at the same time, if you're going on the internet and you're posting videos of yourself killing a lookalike, uh, of course you're going to get some heat. And
yeah,
then, what he did with copyright infringement, where he basically stole their logo and made a few changes. Well, you can't be shocked that she's going to sue you. Any company is going to sue you. That's just the way it works.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like he was making good money, and you decided to do this, and you got yourself in a bind.
yeah. Like I mean, in a sense, what's his name said it was like a symbiotic relationship. Like he couldn't get as much publicity if it wasn't for Carol, and her business couldn't get as much publicity if it wasn't for him. So it's like they were like a bird in the hand type deal. Like you couldn't have Joe Exotic without having Carol Baskins almost.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
because you think about it, without him, she wouldn't have the big exotic rescue. Uh, like she wouldn't be able to say, "Oh, you can't get these cats and this and that." Like she would just basically be like another big cat owner if she wasn't like hating on him. And then he wouldn't have a way to like still try to show off these tigers to say that they're still friendly and that they're not bad creatures or I think he even tried to say that like these are beautiful creatures, they need to be saved too. So in like a way it was like two sides of the same coin. It just the view just a, it's different on how you think about it.
Yeah. And can we also talk about how Carol Baskins is the greatest pimp in America right now?
She is
Okay, so
the
if you watch the documentary, Doc Antle pays his workers like $100 a month, $100 a week, and they work like 16-hour days, all
yeah.
7 days a week. They don't get time off. They don't get sick days. None of that. And the people that, and just so happens, the people that work for Doc Antle are his concubines. He's basically banging them.
Yeah.
Uh, Joe
Well,
Exotic,
okay.
I think he pays his workers like $150 every week, but he tends to employ people that are coming straight out of jail. Basically give them an opportunity for a better life. A lot of those guys, though, they live in squalor. Like they, I think one guy was saying how during the summer those trailers can get up to 120 degrees,
Mhm.
and they don't have running water. They have one air conditioner unit in the whole trailer. They're living with rats. They're living with roaches. A lot of the meats that they were feeding to the animals were coming from Walmart, and these are like expired meats. Which I didn't notice, but if you take a meat out of the fridge and you go to pay for it, but you can't afford it, they can't put those meats back, so they just throw them out. So that's how Joe Exotic was getting all the food to feed the animals. But before that meat would ever go to the animals, he would let his workers rummage through all those meats, take them, and take them for themselves, which is fucking that is
Grimy and
crazy. Yeah, that's
like you can't
grimy as
even
shit.
afford to pay your employees enough where they get food. I think the one guy said he makes 138 after taxes a week. So it's like that's some shit.
Yeah, and these guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're telling me you can only afford to pay your workers 150 something odd dollars every week. That is it's awful. It's almost like telling your workers, well, hey, listen, we don't really need you, and you could be easily replaced because there's a lot of animal lovers out there that would be willing to do your job, you
Right.
know. But anyway, get back on the bitch Carol Baskins. She doesn't pay anybody.
Mm-mm.
You're
Not a soul.
basically, yeah, you're basically a volunteer.
Matter of fact, they
Uh,
pay her if you want to be truthful about it.
yeah, basically. Um, you're only a volunteer, and there's like 5 tiers to being a volunteer, and each tier you have a different color shirt. And we're talking about people are working fucking, oh my god, what, like 12-hour
Tw-
days, 6 days a week for nothing?
yeah,
And this lady, Carol Baskins, she even said it herself. She's making like $25,000 a month off of Facebook alone. That's not even including the ticket prices that people pay to get in there, the prices that they pay to take pictures with these animals. Like this lady is a millionaire,
yeah.
and she's not paying these people that are working for her. They're just happy to be there. Like if you see when they interview these people, they are absolutely happy to be there. Nah, bitch, you got to pay me. You making way too much money.
Yeah.
And not only that, but every time that you step into that cage with those animals, you are absolutely putting your life at risk.
Mhm.
Like the one I guess Saf, like she's a woman but she identifies as a man. First episode gets her arm ripped off.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's absolutely a danger anytime you get into those cages. And then what? One of the episodes, the tiger, which is my, which is the best part of the whole goddamn documentary, when the tiger grabs Joe's leg and starts dragging her along the
Yeah.
cage.
Yep.
It's just, bro. When I rewatched it, I had to rewind it like 4 or 5 times. It's so funny.
He's like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey, hey.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
He's beating that tiger.
he
I was like, man, that's what you get, dummy, being in there.
he was he was hitting the tiger with his cane. He pulled his gun out and started shooting warning shots up in the air.
Yeah.
This shit is so funny, man. Oh
Yeah.
man,
He was
but yeah,
wild.
man, like when I first saw it, I thought it was a mockumentary.
A
I thought it was
mockumentary.
fake. Yeah, I thought it was fake. I was like, there's no way in hell this is happening. There's just I couldn't believe it. That's just how wild all of this was, and it almost plays out like a movie. Almost plays out
Yeah.
like a movie. Like one of the most shocking events in the documentary is when one of Joe's husbands blows his brains out in front of his campaign manager.
Yeah. That was. Did you see the interview on that too?
Yeah,
Yeah. That was a sad one. But yeah, it's when that one came out, I was like, dang, really did it? Cause it kind of seemed like he was unhappy. But then in the interview, they kind of explained that like he's like, oh, Ruger's won't fire without a clip in. So it was just like a tragic accident too.
yeah. Which actually brings me to the other thing I wanted to talk about. So Joe had two husbands. This guy Travis, and I think the other guy's name was John. Which you find out later in the documentary that these dudes weren't even gay,
Yeah.
which boggles my mind. Like, you're telling me that you're pounding this dude's butt and you're not even gay? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think the
So,
one guy came out and said he liked the stuff that Joe was buying for him
oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
doing.
That's that, and I think that's the only reason why that they decided to marry this guy was because he was buying them drugs, guns, uh, whatever they wanted, dirt bikes, ATVs, trucks. Like he basically kept them weeded up and messed up just to keep them under his spell. Because if you kind of look at him, even during that whole wedding uh,
They didn't
episode,
look too
like
happy.
they didn't look happy and they did not look comfortable whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
So it was wild, absolutely wild. Like I'm still in disbelief of what I watched. I still think it might be a mockumentary. It can't be true.
Yeah, I definitely, it's true. I feel like, but just like it's kind of one of those ones where you're like, I don't believe people like that could actually exist. And then you're like, they show you, and you're like, they do exist. And for me, like, I kind of feel like Joe is like the art, the legal R. Kelly. I feel like, cause like the, cause the guy interviewed his what you call him person campaign manager, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, did Joe ever try to hit on you? And he's like, no, I was way too old and not dumb, because that's what they said. Like basically, what Joe was doing was going after the young folks. Like he met John when he was like what, a month out of being out of high school. So it's like
Yeah. So he
he's
was
still a
like
kid. Doesn't know what he
18.
wanted to do. Yeah.
He's like 18, 19 years old, and here you got this guy who's basically going to give you whatever you want, shower you with gifts, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm going for it." You know what I mean? This means that I got to do what I don't really want to do. Then screw it. So basically they're telling you that they'll do anything for money. It's essentially that's what they're saying. They're going to do anything for money.
Yeah. Tempt their soul.
Yeah, because then it also came out that those two guys that Joe were married to were banging the women that worked at the zoo.
Yeah, they were. So I think he had a baby, and that's what made him get clean. He said.
Yeah, he well they said that during the I think while they were filming the documentary that he had already been clean, that he was trying to get
Yeah.
off the drugs, and he wound up meeting some girl and got her pregnant and decided to leave. And Joe goes, I'm mad that he left me for a woman because I can't compete with that. But he was like, if he would have left me for a man, it would have been game on.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe is a character,
Oh,
but
bro, and another thing that was messed up, right? So the kid Travis kills himself. A tragic accident. But
yeah,
then, like, what 2 months later, Joe meets another kid
and
and
gets married.
gets married, but he also invites his husband Travis's mom to the fucking wedding.
Yeah. I couldn't get that one. I was like, why would you do that? Like, he hadn't
Yeah,
even
it's
been in the
like
ground long enough.
yeah, but Travis's mom had a great point. It's like I think he only invited her out there to show the world, like, hey, she came to my wedding, so she's basically co-signing that it's okay for him to move on. But yeah, that's so soon. Like,
That's exactly what she said. And then she said after that, like, he didn't even talk to her anymore.
yeah, basically just cut her off, which I'm not shocked. I knew something like that was gonna
Yeah.
eventually transpire. But yeah, man, this documentary was a wild one.
Yeah. And yeah, I got I took some notes on it so I can remember some talking points. But yeah, man, the stuff is just crazy out there, and Oh man. Hmm. But yeah, Carol Baskins is shoot. But yeah, Joe was a messed up individual. I feel like he really needed some help too, because with his dad really didn't like him either when he was growing up, and then his brother passed, and it's like you kind of wonder what caused him to be him. Like I mean, he what he said he basically wanted the Tigers because like the Tigers was like his brother's dream.
Yeah,
So it's like, did he actually want Tigers? Because the guy in the interview said that he was actually deathly afraid of Tigers. So it's like, why even? you know?
yeah. Another another thing that I want to touch on is when he made the music video about Carol Baskins killing her husband.
Oh man, that one, that was just he was something else in that.
My man's found a lady who looked exactly like her and made a music video about it, and it was hilarious. And the only thing that I'm upset about is that you find out that it wasn't him actually singing these songs that he was singing, which was
Yeah, that's why I was like,
upsetting.
well, I kind of figured that too because when he was talking, I was like, wow, he's either a great singer or like doesn't match whatever this is. Because I was like, so he can really sing, but why does he talk like that? You know?
Yeah, yeah, it was throwing me off a little bit, but I was like, I ran with it. I was like, you know what? He has a pretty good singing voice, man. I'm surprised he's not like a country music star.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, ain't no way he could sound like this and not somewhat sing.
My
So it's
man
like,
pulled a my man pulled a Milli Vanilli on us, man.
sure
Be like
did.
that.
Yeah. Let me see. Another let me see here. But yeah, they're making mad money off the Cubs, and I got I got here. Joe was only spending like three k a year doing what he was doing off the Cubs versus Doc Anna was spending 10,000 to feed his. So it's like if he was able to cut his profit increase his profit margins by like 7,000, like why couldn't you pay your workers a little better?
Exactly, exactly. Another thing that which is all speculation, is that this guy Doc Antle, once these Tigers got out of the Cub phase, that he was euthanizing them,
Yeah.
which I hope is not true. That's sad if that's true, man. Like,
And do you know you can make up to 100K per year off of little baby tiger cubs?
oh yeah, just from, cause, the people want to take pictures with them damn things, And I was actually shocked at how cheap it is to buy a baby tiger.
Well, you
You're
can't buy
looking,
them anymore, but
yeah, well back then you're looking at only spending $2,000. That's how much they charge you for a damn dog.
yeah. I
Pretty
don't know if I
much.
want a cub running around though.
Oh hell no.
Uh-uh.
But I mean, well, I follow someone on Instagram that has a goddamn a bobcat as a pet, and they let this bobcat roam around the house and everything. Like they'll have videos where they'll feed the bobcat, and this motherfucker will go and not only take the piece of chicken, but also take a chunk out of their hand. So I'm just like, what?
Shoot. Yeah, you
There
ain't
was
lying.
a documentary I watched
That's
years
too
ago
much.
called
That's too
Cocaine.
much. That's too much. A
There
chunk of
was
my hand, dog. That's too much.
yeah, like, and like those, and even videos where this cat isn't biting them, you'll see like scratches and bite marks all on the hand. I'm just like, nah, screw that, bro. You couldn't pay me enough.
Yeah, I definitely don't. And imagine when Jeff got attacked in the cage. and him and Lauren in there, and he's playing with that dog. Oh, not dog. The the thing. He's like, Lauren, get out of here. And that line fucked him up. And
Yeah.
then he left out.
Well, he said that he started wearing leather jackets because them goddamn cats were clawing the shit out of his ass. So he had
Hell
no choice
yeah.
but to. Yeah, he had no choice but to wear leather jackets, man.
He started in trench before they was cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, in reading those interviews that they were, or listening to those interviews that they were doing, um, the one guy that was shooting Joe Exotic's uh, reality show was saying how this lady came to him and brought him a horse. The horse
Oh
was on his,
yeah.
yeah, the horse was on his last leg. She wanted him to take care of the horse. As soon as the lady drove off, he pulled out a pistol, put a bullet in the damn horse's head, and said, "Oh, now we got food for the damn tigers." I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
This dude
that was
tripping.
wild.
And then you hear how Joe was killing tigers to make room for the new animals that were coming in. Like, I mean, these are people that were actually working there saying this, but you know, Joe treated those people like trash. So who's to say that they're just saying all this just to paint him in a put him in a bad light? Joe said that the bones that they found of the tigers, it was basically tigers that he had to put down because they were dying or they were suffering and stuff like that. So you'll never know the truth. You'll never know what happened.
I
You
feel like you can like Saf's account more because she gave up her whole hand for the tiger. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like she's about the animals. So like I'm more apt to believe her claims of what Joe was like.
Yeah, it was what, 5 days after she lost her arm, she was right back to work.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
she gave up. She was like, because the doctor told her to be 2 years of reconstructive surgery, and she was like, no, I'll just take my arm off. Gotta get back to the cats because I don't want them changing the narrative on the cats and stuff. So I mean, I respect it.
Yeah. Said, I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, I also feel for the workers there too because said Joe, he treated them people like shit.
he
Like
did.
they said when the camera started rolling, he became a whole different person. So yeah, I mean, like everyone was saying, Joe wanted to be famous. He wanted the spotlight, and now he's got it. But
Yeah.
he can't really reap the benefits of it because he's in jail.
Mhm. Yeah. Joe, he was an entertainer. Like that's how he got first started. Was like he was telling kids to stay off of drugs, and he couldn't captivate their attention enough, and then he started doing magic tricks and bringing tigers, and then he started up with like mall visits where he's making like 10K a mall visit. So it's like he knew how to get money and he knew how to like get the people, and it's like you wonder what was real and what wasn't. Like you said, with him being a completely different person at times.
Right.
So it's like how much of him was actually him and what was him, and you kind of wonder about the man just because he made his people eat out of food trucks, and then the pizza he was making in the party, uh, he was using ingredients off the food truck, and like people didn't even know.
Yeah.
So it's
Um, but I think one thing that they should have definitely highlighted in the documentary was, that big Thanksgiving dinner that he made.
yeah,
Um, in the interviews, they were saying, that's something that he did every year, where him and his mom would basically stay up all night cooking dinner, and they would have people come and eat who, less fortunate people would come and eat for free. And I feel like they definitely should have touched on that more because even though he was an asshole and he was possibly could have been cruel to the animals, at least he was doing some sort of good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So he wasn't all bad. He just wasn't all good either.
that's true.
I would ask you guys:
What's up?
Do you feel as though people have a right to own exotic pets or exotic animals as pets?
I mean, hmm.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can.
I say, well, for me, I feel like if you got the means and you're able to feed them and let them run around and ensure they're not able to, sure you can. But I don't actually think it's right to own them per se because they're wild animals. That's like me owning one of you guys and keeping you around and that's not where you're supposed to be. Like you want to run around and do your own stuff and be free. So it's like,
Oh,
Oh,
so
just
you
give me a
basically just
console. I'll be alright.
he basically just described marriage.
yeah. I'm like what I mean is like animals are made to run free. Like hell, even like dogs we have, like the domestication of dogs. Like now, like those dogs, they're like wild animals. Like you can't predict what a dog does. Like you like you know I gotta end up getting attacked by a dog one time, and I was like, oh, this dog might be a little friendly running out here, and then no. So it's like you don't know like the wild animals, like even domesticated ones still are dangerous. Like you see plenty of people getting mauled by dogs and running around and stuff, and it just doesn't make. I personally I don't think you should keep them, but like if you have the means, like it's no different than a zoo. You know what I'm saying? Except the zoo
Right.
just profits.
Yeah.
So, but I would not have a personal one because I couldn't control it. Like I wouldn't know what to do.
That's fair. Um, Personally, I don't think they should. Like, I would love a wolf one day, but like, wild animals, their heart, like they
Technically,
can
you
be
still
used to
can
you.
get a wolf.
You can, but like, it doesn't.
It's
Just
a
because you
hybrid.
can do something doesn't mean you should.
Well,
You know what I
no,
mean?
well, I mean, like the wolves are actually like a hybrid of the huskies. So that's
Oh
why
yeah,
I'm saying you
that's
actually
why
could.
I wanted a husky because it most resembles a wolf. But in reality, I want a big ass fucking wolf,
Yeah.
and it's just I just think everything in this life has its place, and animals belong in the wild, uh, unless you got like a dog
Exactly.
or a cat, something like that. Like you see videos of people all the time. Like they say, I saw a video the other day. A girl saved a butterfly. Like it couldn't fly, and like for a while she was taking care of it, and it got really attached to her, and like she tried to repair its wings, and I think it either died eventually or just flew away. But like it just shows that like wild animals and creatures that belong outside can't get attached to a human because like they sense things. Like, that's how they communicate with people, their senses. But like just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like you can have the biggest bond in the world with a. I can have the biggest bond in the world with a wolf that I raised since a cub. But who's to say that once I want to start a family, that wolf won't go freaking nuts and like go overprotect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I have to choose like, yeah, do I want a family or do I want to keep this wolf that like I've created a bond with?
It's the wolf gotta go, bro.
Yeah, the wolf's gonna go. But me trying to put the wolf out, the wolf might kill me.
Yeah.
He's gonna
It,
sense it before I get near him. Like, nah, nigga, you good. It's either them or you.
I actually was listening to this book the other day, and they were saying like dogs actually they don't they don't sense things, but like they basically sense your feelings of things. So it's like when they're like, "Oh, my dog doesn't like that person," and it's mostly because you don't like that person, type deal. So it's like it's not that they're like intuitive. It's just like they can pick up on the like the vibrations of people.
Hmm.
So that dog might know you be trying to go out there and kill it, and then it's like, "Oh, it's trying to kill me," and then
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
And then if it's a wolf and he's like taller than me when he stands up, he might just kill me first.
yeah, that's the way it is. Sometimes it just has to go that way.
Word up,
Kill or be killed.
straight up.
Yeah.
I ain't down for no wolf though.
Um,
Yeah. What about what's
personally,
your? Oh, say yeah, your thoughts.
uh, personally, me, no. There's just there's too much that can go wrong. Like like you were saying, like if you have a tiger, almost like I'll go to what is it, Siegfried and Roy, the two guys that
Even
had the
they got
tiger act
attacked.
out. Yeah, trained tigers for years, and the one tiger chomped down on the dude's neck. Did he die from that, or did he wind up surviving? I don't even remember. Cause
I have
that
no
happened
idea.
that happened when I was in high school. But there's just way too much that can go wrong.
Yeah.
Uh, the tiger can attack you or someone in your family or a friend. What are you supposed to do when that wild animal gets out?
You gotta have a means to put it down, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, let's say for instance you're at work one day and this fool finds a way to get out. You know what I mean? Like, this, what are you going to do to stop that?
Oh, you not. You just
Especially,
better hope no one knows it was yours.
yeah, because if no, these animals are hunters, you'll never see them before they pounce on you.
Yeah.
Once they got you, and you are not getting away from them.
I'm
You're
sorry if you don't
basically
see a full grown ass tiger in the middle of the street, nigga. You
no, no, no,
crazy.
no, no, no. I'm talking about if you live where I live, where I mean it's not a wooded area, but there's enough woods for that tiger to hide. Like I got enough brush behind my house, where if that tiger's crouched down low enough, I'll never see it. Especially during the summer when all that stuff is in full bloom, you can't see
Mm-hmm.
what's in that brush. Anything can come out of there. You just never know.
I say
Them
he
niggas are
did
Even
quick
die.
too, man.
yeah, even monkeys. You hear monkeys ripping people's faces off. It's those animals need to be in the wild where they belong, not stuck in somebody's house or in somebody's backyard. It's way too dangerous. Too much can go wrong. You know.
Yeah. Apparently, they're saying that that Siegfried had suffered a stroke, and that's why the tiger bit him like that because they were trying to protect him. Is the story that I'm seeing, but man, that tiger could have just was hungry that day.
Or just had a taste of that blow. It's like, you know what? That tasted kind of good.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's
this.
didn't the doc say about Ohio? There's a whole bunch of dude had a whole bunch of animals. They had to shoot all of them that because they escaped. Do you remember that part?
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah, they killed like 30 some animals because he just let them out, and that's why I don't think they should have them anyway. Because you already have a bunch of people that want to be mass murderers and do crazy things, and it's like you just don't know a person's mental state or like mental capabilities to be owning these animals. Like, do they feel the same way as a regular person? Like, oh, these animals need to be protected and do this and that and try to keep them as safe as they can. Or like, oh, let's just unleash this animal to cause much harm on people as we can, And
yeah,
it's not the animal's fault because it's a wild animal.
yeah. It's basically going off its instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how the video of the kid that got into the bear exhibit in that zoo.
Yeah, the Hammurabi.
Yeah, and they had to put the bear down. Like the bear wasn't doing
Oh,
anything.
it was a gorilla. It was a gorilla.
Or the gorilla, not the bear.
Yeah,
But like the
Yeah.
gorilla wasn't like trying to hurt the baby. They had to put it down. That was a result of bad parenting, not a animal going out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why to this day the dick's out for Harambe 2020, baby.
Harami got a bunch of votes too.
Yeah, that
Oh
whole that
fuck.
whole situation was sad. Even because even they said like the gorilla wasn't necessarily trying to hurt the kid. It was more like trying to protect the kid. But I mean, yeah, that it does boil down to bad parenting. Just like I think it was a couple months later, some other kid got snatched up by a crocodile and ate his ass up. You know, when you go to like zoos and different stuff like that, like you have to be prepared for the worst. Yeah, you have to be paranoid, essentially,
Yeah.
because you never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? They can say all they want. Oh, this is reinforced with this. This is reinforced with that. Let me tell you something. If that big motherfucker wants to get out, he getting out.
Yeah.
He gonna find a way. So be prepared. I've seen enough of Jurassic Park to know that anything can go wrong at any time, bro.
See, that's kind of the way I am. Like I'm hyper. I'm not gonna say hyper vigilant, but it's like I'm always have like, okay, if this happens, what do when this happens, and or if that happens, what does this do? Like even when I take out like the kids my mom babysits, I'm always like looking around. I'm like, oh, where are they running to now? Where they going to? Like I'm trying to keep eyes on like everybody and like
Yeah.
potential traps while still allowing them to be kids. Where they could run around and do things.
Yeah, well, and then I heard months ago that found out there was actually coyotes out near where I live here in EHT, and one of the my boy's dad who works at a golf course right here in EHT was telling me that these coyotes are starting to breed with domestic animal or domestic dogs now. So you'll see like so if you see like a regular dog just that looks like it's run away or stranded or something like that, these dogs are gonna maul the shit out of you
Yeah.
because even though it looks like a domesticated dog, it has that mentality of a coyote where you get caught slipping and you're around a coyote, they're gonna tear your ass apart. So you absolutely have to be careful when it comes to any type of animal, you know.
Yeah, I even look at birds differently. I'm like, ugh, there might be a vicious pigeon over there.
Well, shit, you know what? You never know. You know what I mean?
Some would be crazy.
These birds may come together. So you know what?
Herbie stupid as
Fuck
hell,
these
dog.
niggas. We about to go get them.
Yeah, you ever see? Wasn't there a movie where a bunch of birds like attacked a person and killed him?
Yeah, it was called birds.
Yeah. See, look, y'all call me crazy. That's what it is right there. Yeah.
Oh my god. So are we still talking about the Last of Us being pushed back?
uh, yeah, we can.
Oh shit! I had enough
Uh,
of
uh,
that points. Cool.
so are we done with Tiger King? Cause I had a whole bunch of notes, baby.
Oh no, no,
Oh
no!
no,
Go
you
ahead,
can
man.
keep
Keep
going, keep
going.
going.
Yeah, keep
But
going.
listen, listen. I don't know anything about Tiger King. I don't know how much you guys have to talk about. By all means, keep going.
I thought we was ending the episode.
Oh, we can keep on going.
Shoot, let me go
I
back
mean,
see what I
you
want to
guys got
talk
about
about.
like, you guys got about 15 minutes left. But yeah, you guys can keep going.
Shoot. All right. You want to talk about how I got a little something about how Carol she's running a monopoly. How she getting people to pay for her and pay her to work, and she making all this money with the shirts.
Yeah.
So do you want to get it, or do you want to get how the Carol killed her husband, or
Let's get into the juiciness. How Carol killed her husband.
Mm,
yeah,
the
okay.
moistness.
Oh, I hate that
Oh man, I love that word.
So I think what was my trigger was when she's like when cause right after Joe got attacked, she was like, why would they give him some smell on? Like if you're really gonna do him, they ought to put his shoe in like sardine oil. And for me, I was like, oh, sardine oil. Okay. So what's your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, it was definitely it was something's fishy with that woman, man. Something is
Yeah,
really fishy with that woman. Like, and a lot. I know I haven't actually seen the video, but someone put out a video who can tell whether Carol is lying or not, just strictly off her her God, I
demeanor.
can't even get yeah, like her demeanor, almost like her body language. Like they can kind of tell whether she's lying or not with her body language and everything like that. So I haven't had a chance to see the video yet, but yeah, I don't know. It's just it seems so damn fishy. And then you get to where the will comes into play.
That will was written very weird.
Yeah, like on the like it was worded weird. Something about him disappearing,
Yeah,
and a
upon
lot
my disappearance.
yeah, and a lot of people are like, yeah, we've never heard that before. Why would anyone ever put that in the will? It just doesn't make any sense. So, ah, man, I don't know, man. It's Carol Baskins is. I mean,
An
she's
interesting human
absolutely.
being.
Yeah, she's absolutely a hypocrite. Absolutely a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Um, man, she's.
and it's like just because there's a whole bunch of like circumstantial evidence that like it doesn't. I guess the way the way the policing works is like there's evidence, but it's like it's not enough to get there, so they don't want to like bring it until they have all the evidence.
Yeah, and then they were saying how her younger brother is the sheriff down where she lives, so they might think that maybe he was involved in trying to cover things up. And then when they asked her about it, she was basically saying, me and my brother basically didn't have a relationship because what they were like 4 years apart. Or not, she tried to say she barely knew her brother. It's like
Yeah.
you're only 4 years apart. What do you mean you didn't know your brother? You still had a relationship with your brother for
Well, remember she left home at like 14, and he was like
yeah
9. So, but like you really don't know who that person is now. That makes sense. Like they could have changed. Like I took a personality test the other day, and like my introversion flipped to extroversion. So like over time, a person can change. So like you really don't know anyone, and like anyone's capable of anything. So like it could have he could have tried to influence it, but like you just don't know. I don't think he like influenced it, but that because even the what you call him lady was like she was like, oh, I don't think there was any like wrongdoing or shenanigans or whatever. So, but they did just reopen it though, so there might be some new evidence and brought to light.
I mean, yeah, there could be.
The evidence of absence, not the absence of
And how,
evidence.
when the
Yeah,
police did come to the zoo and did an investigation, they didn't find any blood in the cages with the tigers and everything like that. Like, they didn't really find anything in the meat grinder. And then one person was saying, even if she did feed the her husband to the tigers, you're not going to find any evidence because even if the tigers ate the bones, the acidic level in these tigers' stomachs will basically dissolve the bone. So, have any
yeah,
luck?
sure can.
But would they eat the bones? You think?
I don't know. I don't know what a tiger eats.
Wait, what you say? You cut out on me.
So do you think they'd eat the bone?
Looks like we're
And
having some technical difficulties, folks.
No, you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm waiting on Tone to say something.
Oh, is Tone about to get kicked out the party?
It sounds like it.
Damn. Oh shit, I didn't even notice.
Hey,
What?
you guys cut out on me. You gotta say that all over again.
Oh, we was just talking about how your fucked up internet was preventing us from hearing.
No, it's not my internet. Something's wrong. I don't know what's going on with my headset. My headset keeps cutting in and out.
Oh,
I
alright.
said what? I whatever. Whatever. I ain't gonna stress about it. Whatever.
So we were basically just saying, I was asking like if you guys think tigers eat bones, like human-sized bones.
Uh, yeah, I don't see why not. What they say a tiger's jaw has what 600 pounds per square inch of pressure. I think it is. It's absolutely feasible they could snap through a human bone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean they. Because you also got to look at it like a dog does too. When you go to the store and you buy these bones with the dried meat on there and you give it to your dog,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
the dog starts to chew through that bone eventually. And I'm pretty sure a tiger's jaw is a lot stronger than just a regular domesticated dog.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna. I mean they probably wouldn't eat like a thick bone, like a shoulder bone, a hip bone, a femur, but when it comes like fingers and toes and ribs, hell yeah, they probably eating them.
Yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
150 pounds
enough.
per square inch for a
Oh,
tiger
150
bite.
pounds? Okay.
No, 1,050 per square inch for a tiger.
Holy
PSI.
shit. Yeah, they're snapping through bone, no problem.
Yeah.
I just wonder if they would actually eat it. You know, crunch crunch time, or like, cause like when you see a lot of like Animal Planet shit and like there's a tiger or someone in a cat life chasing another animal, like they're just eating the flesh. They're not really going after the bones. Like they might get a bone here and there, but like I feel like there's no more flesh to chow down on. Are they really going out of their way to eat all of the, you know?
No, I mean, no, they would. I mean, they wouldn't eat all the bones, but like, for instance, like bones in your hands, you can absolutely grind that up. That's not going to take anything to grind up because those bones are so small and you know what I mean. Like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
like a thigh bone, like your femur. Nah, that is the strongest bone in the human body. When I was in when I was taking the EMT course, my instructor told us that if you come across someone who has a broken femur bone, there's definitely something else wrong with that person because it takes a whole lot of force to break that bone. Like if you
Yeah.
find a femur bone, you're just not gonna walk up to a tree and start whacking that tree with that bone thinking it's gonna break. I mean, eventually it could break, but that's a big ass thick bone.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
someone on my team broke their femur bone one time. Or was it lower leg? I can't remember, but you heard it on the sideline and everyone was like, "What was that?"
Yeah, yeah. I bet you when that bone snaps, it's loud. And you know
Yeah.
how they when you break a femur bone, they have a contraption, right? So what happens is when you break your femur bone, your leg basically just goes limp. So the only way you have to set that bone back into place before you take them to the hospital. So someone literally has to pick up that leg and jerk and pull it back so the bone
Whew.
sets. And you
Jeez.
have to hold it in place because if you don't hold it in place and that bone starts to splinter off, it'll nick one of your major arteries. So then you have to put this contraction on their leg that that will hold it in place. So the contraction is basically pulling the leg to keep the bone set, and I tell you right now, it's uncomfortable. Because when I was taking the EMT course, we had to put those damn things on our legs, and you can feel a pull. And if you set it the wrong way, it can definitely mess up your groin as well, because it comes all the way up to your private area. So if you set that thing wrong, it could do some damage.
Shit.
Yeah, it's nothing to play with, man.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with.
This guy.
Shit, I believe it.
Any more notes you would like to discuss, sir?
Nah, man. It sounds Carlos is ready to get back in there. I'm gonna hand over his show back to him. I've
Feel
been
like this
here
was the
long
Tony
enough.
exclusive episode.
Yeah, I ain't trying to take over nothing. So
Nah, man, you welcome anytime. But like we are approaching the finish time, so we should probably wrap it up. Anything else anyone wants to add in?
no, that was pretty much it. We might have to do, if he might request a second follow-up episode, might be cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Per actually us forgetting last part, we didn't recommend a song. Irby, not sure if you remember from listening, but towards the end of the podcast, we actually recommend a song for our many outstanding amount of viewers or listeners.
I say, the podcast ain't over. Don't you gotta talk about This Is Us, Last of Us, and something?
Hell no, I don't got time for that shit.
Oh, dang.
Nah, nah. Plus, the only thing you really have to say is, The Last of Us. Um, last
Got
month they
delayed.
indefinitely, yeah, they indefinitely delayed it, and then they finally came out with a release date for June 19th, 2020. Um, there is something big I actually want to talk about in this episode. We're gonna have to save it for the next one.
How
Dang.
big? Do you guys want to just do another quick one, or
Uh, nah, let's save it for next week.
are you gonna remember?
Yeah, I remember. See, I watched the video on it last night and never took notes on it, and just realized this morning, that'd be a great talking point. But I think that's something we should save for next week, because then everyone could do their research. So, you know, poor Carlos isn't left out like he's been left out these past two topics in this episode.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Oh wait, I wasn't too left out on the PS5.
Mm, agree to disagree, sir.
Agree to.
Damn.
Nah, man, you was in there like swimwear.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe. And
Sir, we never did songs, sir.
oh, you right. Damn, Lowe's, calm your ass down.
Oh, you can tell my man don't want to do this right now. Damn.
Dang.
Nah,
He
I've
trying to get
actually
rid
been
of us,
trashing
man.
Irby.
What? Cause I ain't paying attention.
All right. You want to kick it off, Tone?
Yeah. So, as everyone knows, I normally don't like to pick any mainstream music. I like to pick the more obscure underground songs. So the one that I'm going with today is a song called "Make Your Move" by Hieroglyphics, and I think there's only two versions. There's the original album version, and then there's the Ninth Wonder remix. The Ninth Wonder remix is the one that I prefer the most. I can't tell you what the hell this song's about because I don't even know what it's about. I try reading through the lyrics and I'm like, I still don't understand what this song's about. I think it's just a bunch of niggas rapping. But it is a group that is based out of Oakland, California. It's an underground group. Um, the members are Dell the Funkipian, who we talked about last week, who helped write Gangsta's Fairy Tale for Ice Cube, and they're also related. DJ Torre, I forgot the other guy's name. Actually, I forgot a couple members' names, but I do know what makes up the other part of the group is a group called, I can't believe I can't think of the group's name. Damn, I'm gonna hold on. I gotta look this up. I gotta look this up now. Uh, and you know what the funny thing
You
is too?
suck. What?
I I listen to them too, and I can't.
Damn, nigga,
I
tell us how you really feel. If they ain't that good, you don't have to tell us.
oh no, they are good. Hold on, give me 2 seconds, and I'll tell you what the group name is. I'm killing them. Oh my god.
You got one in mind, Herbie, or are you still thinking?
I mean, I got like a few. Um,
One, nigga, one.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to
You'll be back.
roll it down.
We'll get you
Souls of
back.
Mischief. Souls of Mischief. I can't believe I forgot that. God damn it.
What a shame. I'm disappointed
Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself, sir.
in you. All right,
So
special guest Herbie, you wanna throw in yours?
I was a big Wiz fan. Back in the day,
Khalifa?
and no Mia, Mia Khalifa. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
I fucking loved her for a while, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That was a beautiful bitch to me.
yeah, she was. But I like Wiz's real estate. If we're going off the beaten path, uh, that was a song I used to listen to on my drive home. When I drove my 5 hours from school, it's like talking about you know uh, coming up a little bit, making a little bit more. He's I think the hook's like when they make it, they just put my face up on 100,000. It was some denomination of money, and it's like that's because that's how I feel. So it's like I think it's a little catchy song, something I can bump to while I'm driving down the highway.
Wait,
I'll
what
save
was
us.
this song? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Yeah,
Damn.
I
it's
was
all
doing
right.
something. My bad. My bad.
It's Wiz
What a
Khalifa's real estate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's off of someone else's beat though. I can't think of the beat.
nigga said, wait, what was it? I wasn't listening.
I was
Yeah.
doing something. That's my bad. I didn't mean it like that. I was
Nah, man,
zoned out on something.
he ain't want to listen to me. It's cool.
I know. All right, so as for my pick this week, it's actually something I think you have to go on YouTube for, and I'm not sure if it's anywhere else but YouTube. But it's by FKJ and Masego. It's called Tadao, and it's not really, it's mainly instrumental, but like it's got such a fucking nice jazz vibe to it, and it's just two guys in a booth, and like they're doing that thing where like you record a sound and then like you play it instead of like playing the instrument again, and then they chain it together, and it's just like really fucking it's a chill and dope ass sound and beat and vibe.
Oh, like Scott
And it's,
Joplin.
yeah, and it's just like towards the end the dude starts singing, but like for like the first 6 to 7 minutes, it's just like it's chill. You know what I mean? It's just like something to
Six or
vibe to.
7 minute song.
It's eight and seven,
Eight. Man, I don't
eight
even
oh
listen to
seven.
3 minute songs no more.
Hey man, I'm just saying, it's a dope ass song. That's all. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't want to listen to it, you don't. I can't force you to listen to it, but like,
Nah,
it's
I
a
already
dope
didn't
ass
forgot
song.
about it. I wasn't even listening to it. What you say?
Damn.
Oh, damn, this
Nah, I'm
man.
kidding.
But yeah, yeah, I highly recommend giving that a listen to if either you guys want to give it a shot. I'll just play it on. You don't even have to listen to it because it's just instrumental. You just have to just vibe with it, and that's it. So any closing statements from anyone?
Stay safe out there, people. Stay frosty.
All right, Irby, you want to promote your
Uh,
OnlyFans?
You said what?
You want to promote your OnlyFans?
Nah, man. I can't promote what I don't have.
Oh my bad. All right, guys. Oh, Tony, you were gonna say something.
yeah. I said it once before, and I'm gonna say it again. Dicks out for Harambe 2020, baby.
Straight up, Nick. Straight up.
I ain't never put mine away.
This is true. This is true. We've been out here letting our dicks hang since 2016. It's a
Shoot.
straight tribute to Harambe.
Yeah, go right.
Damn. All right, guys. So that's gonna do it for this part of the Big Sin podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.